Hey guys, I'm Elise Wong, and today I'd like to share with you on how I managed to do this display case. For some of you who know, I do miniature painting as well as sculpture painting, and I slowly start to diverse to diorama. And take my Captain America piece for example. I can just let that rest on the countertop and let dust collect on it. I can just take a piece of cloth and wipe it down and remove all the dust because it's protected by varnish already. So I have no problems with that. However, for diorama, you got a lot of details going on, such as the grass, the leaves. If dust were to get caught in it, it's very difficult to remove. And if I were to take a wet cloth, I'll be practically removing all the work that I've done. So I wanted a display case. Unfortunately, I went out and tried to commission someone else to do it, but it just totally went over my budget. So growing up, my dad has always built alternatives, improvise in other words. So that is what I did here, just to get a cheaper alternative. So what are the things you need? The things you need are 5 clear acrylic sheets, 2 black acrylic sheets, plastic adhesive, ruler, and a blade. Oh yeah, and duct tape. So I'm gonna go through with you before I start demonstrating it in another video. So 5 clear acrylic sheets. You're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, and the top 5. So there you go, 5 sides. So this is my artwork. If you're interested, I also recorded it on how I managed to do this piece. This is my forest unicorn. As you can see, there is a lot of things going on here, and if dust were to get trapped in here, it'll be a total nightmare. That's why having a display case, very important. Okay, this part is kind of important because I did not manage to record this part because of technical difficulties. My apologies on that, but I will try to explain it here. This is 2 black acrylic sheets stuck together, and the measurements are different for each one. The top one is slightly smaller than the bottom. The smaller one is to fit inside the display case, whereas the bottom one is broad enough to support the display case when you carry it around. And so you have to trim the top one a little. And then I use plastic adhesive to weld them together, and I use duct tapes along the sides. Duct tape along the sides is to help tighten, I don't know, give that tight feeling when you put the lid on top. And I'm not sure if it actually works or it's just a placebo effect on my part, but yeah, so that's what I did. So I put duct tape on it just to give that tight feeling that is secure. Not sure if it works, but you know. So yeah, basically that's it. It's real simple, just to brief you guys on that. So and there you have it, folks. I did not want to use a saw because I don't want it to be messy, leaving behind scratches, and it most probably wouldn't be a clean cut as I wanted. So what I did was I used a ruler and a sharp blade. Bear in mind when you do this, you have to press the ruler down really hard because you don't want the ruler to move. You want to keep it as accurate and straight as possible, because in this kind of situation, when you do a mistake, it's very hard to undo. So I go through it a few times with a blade, making an incision. And when it's deep enough, you don't even need the ruler anymore. You can just go through the line with your blade maybe a few more times. This leaves behind a weakness in the acrylic sheet. And you can exploit this weakness by adding pressure against the table, and it will snap the acrylic sheet. This makes the cut really nice and clean that I don't think a saw can replicate. And I'm demonstrating this again with a separate acrylic sheet just to show you guys again. Same thing, I go through it with a ruler, and I can take out the ruler when it's deep enough and make a few more incisions just to be sure, adding pressure, and it will snap. I kept the wax paper on because I don't want any scratches or my palm print to be left behind, so I leave the wax paper on first. Now I'm using a plastic adhesive to put the liquid in between the acrylic sheets, and you just let it sit together for like 30 seconds and then you're good to go. This plastic adhesive actually melts the acrylic sheet, so you're more like welding it instead of gluing it together. My recommendation is you use a syringe with a needle to control the amount of liquid going through. My mistake was I did not have a needle, and more liquid came out than I expected, and it melted the parts that I did not want to be melted. So the display case was not perfect because of that. So highly recommend you use a needle. It controls the flow much better, and it'll make your display case a lot more perfect. After it sits nicely, I start taking off the wax paper. So the acrylic sheet looks nice and pristine with no scratches whatsoever. So this is what it would look like, and you have to do this for all sides. This is the base. It consists of 2 acrylic sheets. One is slightly smaller to accommodate the base of your artwork. The second one, the bottom one, it's bigger to support the display lid. And I stick them together with using plastic adhesive and duct tape. The duct tape is to keep it nice and tight when you put the lid on top. Unfortunately I didn't manage to record the process because I had technical difficulties. So yeah. So I'm showing you my artwork, which is the forest unicorn, and I put the display lid on top, and it sits nicely. Thanks for watching, and I really hope it helps you, and if it did, it would mean the world to me if you like and subscribe, and I would appreciate if you share because sharing is caring, and I could use a little caring right now. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it that you subscribe, and if you'd like to keep up to date with my photos and paintings, you can follow me on the following sites listed down below in the video description. They are Facebook, Blogspot, Google+, and Deviantart. That's all for today. I will see you guys on the next video. Hope you stay around. Ciao!